Anime records. So for those of you who don't know me, I am not only an avid music creator, I like make my own songs and stuff like that. By the way, check out my stuff, Ikuru. But at the same time, I'm also an avid music listener. Any chance I can get, I will pop on some music on my record player, I will listen to some music through my speakers through my computer, or maybe just through my earphones when I'm out and about. Either way, I really love listening to music, and any chance I can get, you will catch me listening to some kind of music. And I feel my ability, or I guess morbid curiosity, in able to go out there and explore all sorts of different songs, albums, artists, and genres of music has really aided me in what I currently do for a job, which is to dive not into the music end of the pool, but more so into the manga, anime, otaku subculture side of the pool, and really experiment and explore all of the possibilities that those genres have to offer. So naturally, a match made in heaven for me is something that combines all of the things that I love, put it into one thing. I love music, and I love anime. Anime albums, or more like anime soundtracks, and today I'm going to be going through my, I guess, record collection of anime soundtracks. Now, all of these that I have collected are ones on vinyl. They're all 12-inch vinyls, I believe, and this is definitely not my entire record collection or anything like that. In fact, if I feel like, you know, I'm going to make a record collection video down in the future, that will be a completely separate video. Just for today, though, I will be covering all of the anime soundtrack albums that I have, because I have a few. And these albums really are in like no particular order of my favorite to my least favorite. I mean, the fact that I own all of these means that I love them, obviously. But each of them have their own special, I guess, story to go with it. So I'm just gonna show some of them off to you guys. So the first, actually, anime album, or anime record album, that I received, actually, I didn't actually buy this, I received this from one fan over in Singapore about, God, 3 or 4 years ago, I think, when I was a guest at a Singapore anime convention. And he gave me an album which, for one, I didn't even know was printed on vinyl at the time, how naive I was. But it is the third album to the third Kizumonogatari movie from the Monogatari series. It's still in its plastic. I haven't taken it out because, honestly, this is like too nice of a record to take out. In fact, I think most, if not all, of these albums are still in their plastic because I honestly don't even want to take them out. They're almost like collector's items at this point. But this is the entire soundtrack to the third Kizumonogatari, Part 3, Reiketsuhen. Not my favorite of the 3 movies per se, but definitely a good track of solid songs. And for some reason, one thing that kind of like is a little distracting about this is the fact that, you know, the front here, this is the front of the cover, which has the title Kizumonogatari, is fine and dandy, but then when you flip it over, for some reason, Hanekawa is upside down. I don't know why or how that happened. I don't know if it's a misprint or that's just the design of it. Who knows? Knowing how experimental the series gets, I'm gonna guess it's on purpose. Basically, I was doing a signing at a Singapore convention, AFA I believe it was called. Yeah, I was just signing away, all that kind of stuff, and then one dude approached me and kind of placed this on my table, and naturally, when I saw this, I was like, holy shit, that is so fucking cool. Where did you get it? He didn't tell me where he got it, but, you know, I thought that this is a really cool thing for me to sign. I almost felt bad signing this. I didn't want to ruin this album. So I had my pen in my hand and I said, alright dude, what do you want me to sign this? And he just said, oh, you can have it. This is yours. This is just a gift to you. It's probably one of, I'm not gonna lie, probably one of the coolest things I've ever received from a fan. So, dude, if you're watching this, dude who gave me this album in Singapore 3 or 4 years ago, thank you, because this was the start of a very beautiful collection for me. And so naturally, after finding out that Part 3 got an entire record of its songs all on its own, I thought to myself, well, if I have Part 3, then I've obviously got to get Part 1 and Part 2 as well. And that's exactly what I did. So here's the soundtrack to Part 1, Reiketsuhen, and it wasn't until after I got this album I realized, yeah, they definitely did the flip thing on purpose. We got a very powerful shot here from the first movie of when Araragi first discovers Kishot, and this is just a beautiful album cover. In fact, the first 3 parts of the Kizumonogatari, or the first 3 records of the Kizumonogatari movies are up on display. If you watch this channel quite a bit, then you can actually see them in the background of most of my videos, so guess go check those out if you can spot those. And then we also have the second movie as well, the part 2 Nekketsuhen. This time with a long-haired Shinobu on the cover, as she kind of looks in this second movie. Really nice. I don't want to take this out of the cover. I don't want to ruin this, because, not gonna lie, these 2 albums that I bought, not including the one I owned, were fucking expensive. But definitely worth it, and it makes my background look very nice and very cultured. But the 4th album, which is actually the last of the 4 albums that are usually in the background of my second channel videos and my streams and stuff like that, is, I would have to say, probably one of the most famous anime soundtracks. I mean, me saying the most famous soundtrack might be a little bit debatable, but at least in my opinion, this is one of the most artistic and very instantly recognizable soundtrack. And it is, of course, the Akira soundtrack. Or rather, it's the Geino Yamashiro Gumi, which is the creators of the soundtrack. It's their symphonic suite. Basically, it is the entire soundtrack to Akira. And there isn't a whole lot of songs in Akira, which is rather interesting. As you can see, it is a double album. We got sides A to side D with this fucking awesome image. And what can I say about the Akira soundtrack that hasn't already been said on the internet? I mean, my god, talk about instantly recognizable, instantly puts you into that atmosphere of the movie, and it's just such a powerful soundtrack as well. I mean, Akira is just a timeless classic, in my opinion, and people who say that Akira is overrated can just go suck a dick, in my opinion. There are movies today that look half as good as the Akira movie, and that's just a straight up fact. There is a reason why this very quickly became one of the greatest and most influential anime films to ever come out, and for good reason in my opinion. And the soundtrack to it is just one cherry on top of the already delicious and beautiful sundae that Akira has created. I mean, the fact that this movie and soundtrack came out 30 years ago is just fucking mind-blowing to me. And again, this is still in plastic, but as you can see, I bought this one in Japan actually, and not online. It's got a price tag of 5,000 yen, which is roughly like 50 bucks-ish, something like that. Which honestly was not too bad, because the last 2 Monogatari soundtracks I showed you were definitely more than 5,000 yen, that's for sure. So obviously I had to get this. This is also brand new. This isn't secondhand, still in its plastic. And again, I don't intend to take it out of its plastic because it just looks so goddamn good in my opinion. But these last 3 are definitely the newest ones to my collection, and to start off with, we gotta go with an absolute classic. I would say that this soundtrack and the next soundtrack are probably the most instantly recognizable soundtracks to those of you who didn't watch Akira. But the first one is, of course, the Spirited Away soundtrack, Sentou Chihiro no Kamikakushi Sound no Toraku, as you can see, with a leather etching on the vinyls, which is quite dope. Nice little scene here of Haku and Chihiro running down. I think this is closer to the end of the film. And this is again another double album from side A to side C. So I guess the etching that is shown at the front here is on the side D, so it's just like a visual side, which is, you know, cool. If you're gonna use like extra space, if you have an entire side just open, why not put some fucking artwork on there? It would look dope. But again, what can I say about the Spirited Away soundtrack that hasn't already been said? I mean, I believe anything by Joe Hisaishi, who is the composer for most, if not all, Ghibli films, is just, again, just that one artist who is just instantly recognizable. And you know, as much as Sentou Chihiro is not my favorite Ghibli movie out there, I just could not get this on vinyl. I mean, this soundtrack is not only my childhood, but also it's just really fucking relaxing. Like, I feel unlike a lot of Joe Hisaishi's movies, this one probably has like the most like just clear-cut piano tracks on it, and as a piano player myself, you can't go wrong with piano music. So yeah, this one's just great. Has a lot of like memories involved with my time of watching anime, and you know, it's just arguably, I'd say, probably one of the most recognizable Ghibli soundtracks to date. But again, it's not my favorite Ghibli soundtrack, nor my favorite Ghibli movie. In fact, that title is going to be reserved for this next vinyl I'm about to show you guys, and you know what? I don't care what anyone says. This is still, in my eyes, one of the best Ghibli films ever made, and it is Princess Mononoke. The Princess Mononoke soundtrack is godlike. Unlike Spirited Away, I feel the Princess Mononoke soundtrack definitely has a lot more of an orchestral sound, uses a lot more string instruments, but also still has that Joe Hisaishi flair that is, again, instantly recognizable. There are some songs I would listen on this soundtrack that sometimes get me crying like an absolute bitch. Other times get me so inspirational that I just want to sit down and watch this movie again for the 900 millionth time. This one doesn't have an etching on it, but it does have 4 whole sides. Again, another double record. You can't go wrong with the double record. And yeah, this one is definitely a lot more of like an epic type of symphonic suite type of sound from Joe Hisaishi, which I think is absolutely brilliant. And again, this is just one of the soundtracks that is instantly recognizable, beautiful, and again, this is my absolute childhood. I mean, I think Princess Mononoke was the first Ghibli film I ever watched, and finding this online, as well as the Spirited Away soundtrack, has definitely gotten me interested in finding more Ghibli soundtracks, because there's a lot of Ghibli films I would love to have the soundtracks for. And last but certainly not least, this is the latest album that I have added to the anime soundtrack collection. And it's not even an album, actually. This is a single from a movie that I think just came out this year. It is the Evangelion 4.0 credit song, Utada Hikaru's One Last Kiss. I saw this being sold at my local Tower Records, and I was like, you know what? Yes, please. What a sick album cover of Asuka from 4.0 right here. And although the background is quite simple, or the back cover is quite simple, this front cover, dude, is so goddamn cool. And also, I mean, look, as much as I'm not personally a massive fan of Utada Hikaru's music, the last track during the credit sequence to 4.0 was absolutely fucking epic. It got me shedding a tear. And in my epic quest to look for the original TV series soundtrack to Evangelion, for the meantime, I will settle with this, because this is an absolutely beautiful looking album containing a beautiful single by a beautiful woman. But there you go, guys. That was my anime soundtrack record collection, as of right now at least. Again, I'm still continuing to find and trying to find more soundtracks and stuff like that to grow my collection out more. But let me know, guys, about my collection so far, and if there is a soundtrack from an anime movie or TV series or anything like that that you personally recommend, then I guess leave them down in the comments below, and maybe I'll try and find the record variant of it. I'll probably be making like my full record collection type of video later in the year, or maybe I might just like show it off on stream or something and put it up here. I'll see how it goes. Either way, you should follow me on Twitch, because I play some fun games and hang out and play some music and stuff like that. It's good times over there, so check it out. That was my anime record collection. Hopefully you enjoyed. Over here next to my face is a couple more videos you can go check out, and hey, subscribe and join in on the adventure by smashing my face right now. Also, again, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, all that kind of stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!